What if I told you that death is not the final chapter, but rather the beginning of a new story, one that we have all been part of long before this life? Imagine the possibility that the soul you carry has lived countless lives, seen countless worlds, and will continue on beyond the moment your heart stops beating. For many, these thoughts stir a deep mixture of wonder, fear, and hope, especially as we grow older and start asking the questions we once brushed aside. What lies beyond this life? Is there truly something waiting for us, or is it just darkness? These are not just philosophical musings, but urgent questions that echo in the quiet moments of our later years when the shadow of mortality feels near and real. Morgan Freeman, a voice that has narrated the mysteries of the universe and the complexities of human nature, offers a perspective that resonates deeply with many who wonder about life after death. His calm, steady voice invites us to explore these questions without fear, with an openness that comforts rather than unsettles. But what does Morgan Freeman himself believe about what comes next? Is it the traditional heaven and hell many expect, or something far more profound and mysterious? Today, we step into the thoughts of a man who has spent a lifetime telling stories and discover the story he tells about the end of life and what may lie beyond. Morgan Freeman's belief in life after death is rooted in a blend of personal experience and a profound curiosity about the unknown. Unlike many who cling to rigid answers, Freeman embraces the mystery. He once shared that he believes in reincarnation, the idea that our souls return again and again in new bodies, new lives, to continue growing and learning. For someone whose career has been built on telling stories of human resilience and wonder, this belief fits like a natural extension of his lifelong quest to understand existence. It is not a belief grounded in fear of the unknown, but a hopeful vision that life's journey is far longer and richer than a single lifetime. This view is especially comforting to those entering their later years, when the thought of what's next becomes more than abstract philosophy, but a pressing reality. The idea that death is not an abrupt end, but a transition, a comma in the story, rather than a period, offers a form of peace that many desperately seek. It softens the sting of loss, the ache of saying goodbye, and the fear of the unknown. For Morgan Freeman, and for many who share his view, death is a passage, not a punishment or a final silence. It's a chapter that invites reflection and hope, a door opening onto something beyond what we can see or fully understand. What shaped this perspective for Morgan Freeman? His thoughts on the afterlife didn't arise in isolation, but grew from a deep engagement with different faiths, philosophies, and his own personal experiences. Throughout his career, he has narrated documentaries and films exploring the nature of God, the cosmos, and the human spirit. This lifelong exploration reflects a man who does not fear questions but chases them relentlessly. Freeman speaks openly about moments that challenged his understanding of life and death, near-death experiences and encounters that blur the line between the physical world and something more. These moments, he says, made the idea of reincarnation feel more real and more hopeful than any traditional doctrine. Freeman's openness to these ideas reflects a broader tradition, ancient philosophies and religions that view life as cyclical rather than linear. In these views, the soul travels through many lives, evolving and learning through each one. This contrasts sharply with the more common Western view of a single life followed by eternal rest or judgment. Yet both perspectives wrestle with the same core mystery: what happens when the body dies? But the essence of who we are lives on. For those of us aged 50 and beyond, these reflections can offer a profound source of comfort, a reminder that the story is not finished, no matter how much time we have left on this earth. Morgan Freeman doesn't claim to have all the answers, and that is part of what makes his viewpoint so relatable and powerful. He invites us to stay curious, to embrace the vast unknown with wonder rather than fear. His voice, steady and warm, guides us to consider that perhaps the greatest gift is not certainty, but the courage to ask the questions and live fully with their mystery. As we listen, we are reminded that our own beliefs about death and the afterlife shape how we live today, how we love, how we forgive, and how we hope. So, as you reflect on your own journey, consider this. What if death is not the end, but the next step? What if the soul you carry is ancient and enduring? And what if, like Morgan Freeman, you found peace, not in definite answers, but in the beautiful mystery of life's endless story? Have you ever felt deep within your soul a whisper, a gentle nudge that there is more to life than the fleeting moments we live here on earth? A sensation that the story we know is only a fragment of a much grander narrative. For those of us entering the later chapters of life, these whispers grow louder, inviting us to look beyond the visible world to seek meaning in what lies ahead. Morgan Freeman's reflections on life after death do not just satisfy curiosity, they invite us to lean into that profound longing for connection, for continuity, for hope beyond the inevitable goodbye. Freeman's view is not a simple comfort. It challenges us to reframe our understanding of what it means to live and to die. Instead of fearing death as a loss, he encourages us to see it as a transformation, an evolution of the spirit. He has often spoken about the idea that the soul learns, grows, and changes through each existence, shedding the limitations of one lifetime only to embrace new lessons in the next. This perspective invites us to think about our own lives as chapters in an endless book where even the hardest endings are but preludes to new beginnings. And for those of us reflecting on decades of memories, joys, and regrets, this notion can bring an unexpected peace. What makes this belief so compelling, especially for the older generation, is its profound emphasis on growth and purpose beyond the physical realm. It suggests that every moment, every joy, every heartbreak, every lesson is part of a soul's journey toward wisdom and compassion. Morgan Freeman's belief in reincarnation and the eternal nature of the soul offers a roadmap to understanding our own experiences in a new light. Instead of fearing the unknown, we are invited to embrace the mystery with courage and curiosity. It is an invitation to carry forward the lessons of this life with grace, knowing that the soul's journey continues in ways we may not yet comprehend. This understanding can change how we approach the inevitable changes of aging. When we see ourselves as travelers on a long spiritual voyage, the losses and transitions of later life gain new meaning. They are not just endings, but doorways, opportunities to prepare for what comes next. Freeman's reflections remind us that the wisdom gained over the years is a gift, a preparation for the next stage of the soul's journey. This idea can soften the fear that so often accompanies growing older, replacing it with a quiet hope and a sense of purpose that transcends the physical world. Morgan Freeman's thoughts also challenge us to rethink how we view our relationships, those bonds that shape our lives and our sense of self. If the soul is eternal, then the connections we make here are not fleeting but part of a larger web of experience. This belief can bring comfort in moments of grief, suggesting that love transcends death and continues in unseen ways. For many in their later years, the pain of loss is softened by the hope that those we cherish remain with us in spirit, guiding and comforting beyond this life. Freeman's perspective invites us to cherish these invisible ties, knowing they are part of an eternal dance of souls. At its core, Morgan Freeman's belief in life after death is a testament to the power of hope, a hope that sustains us when the darkness threatens to overwhelm. It reminds us that we are more than our physical bodies and more than the years we count. We are part of something timeless, something infinite. This realization offers not only comfort, but a call to live with greater meaning and presence, embracing each day as a sacred step on the soul's eternal path. As we move deeper into these reflections, consider this. What if the true measure of our lives is not in the time we have left, but in the love we give and the growth we achieve? What if death is not an ending, but a transformation into a new form of existence, one filled with light, wisdom, and peace. Morgan Freeman's gentle but profound beliefs invite us to explore these questions, to listen to the whispers of our own souls, and to find solace in the timeless mystery that connects us all. What does science say about this? Morgan Freeman's views often intersect with the growing field of near-death experiences, consciousness studies, and quantum physics, areas that suggest consciousness may not be confined to the brain or the body. Researchers have documented countless cases where individuals report vivid experiences of leaving their physical bodies, encountering light, feeling overwhelming love, and meeting beings or deceased loved ones. These reports challenge the traditional idea that death is absolute and final. For those of us who have spent a lifetime witnessing loss and change, such findings offer a hopeful glimpse into what might await beyond. These studies resonate deeply with Freeman's openness to mystery. He has spoken about how these scientific explorations don't contradict spiritual beliefs, but rather expand them, inviting a broader understanding of what it means to be human. This intersection of science and spirituality is especially comforting to those who seek evidence alongside faith, a balance that many in the 50 to 65 plus age group find reassuring as they navigate their own beliefs about mortality. It's a reminder that life after death is not just a matter of religion or folklore, but a question that science is beginning to take seriously. Freeman's willingness to embrace uncertainty encourages us to be curious rather than fearful. He models a way of thinking that acknowledges how little we truly know, yet still finds wonder and hope in the possibilities. For those of us reflecting on a lifetime of experiences, this mindset can transform the way we face our final chapter. It invites us to see death not as a dark abyss, but as a doorway to something profoundly beautiful and unknown. And what about faith? Morgan Freeman's beliefs do not align strictly with any single religion, but rather with a universal spirituality, a recognition that life, death, and the beyond are interconnected in ways beyond human comprehension. This inclusiveness speaks to many older adults who have wrestled with dogma and sought a more personal, compassionate understanding of what lies beyond. Freeman's message is simple yet profound. It is okay not to have all the answers. It is okay to embrace mystery and find comfort in the shared human experience of wonder and hope. As we absorb these reflections, we begin to see that the conversation about life after death is not just about what happens when we die. It is about how we live now, how we find meaning, how we love, how we prepare ourselves for the inevitable transitions. Morgan Freeman's insights remind us that our final journey begins long before our last breath, in the choices we make and the hearts we touch every day. And in that, there is a powerful invitation to live with purpose, compassion, and grace. So what might it feel like to carry this hope in your own heart? To look at the future not with fear, but with quiet anticipation. Morgan Freeman's beliefs offer a guiding light for those seeking peace. In the later years, a balm for the soul that softens the edges of fear and uncertainty. In embracing this view, we may find the courage to face the unknown with open hearts, knowing that the story of our soul is far from over. As we come to the close of this journey through Morgan Freeman's reflections on life after death, take a moment to let it all settle in. The idea that our story doesn't end with our final breath, that there's something beyond, something waiting to welcome us home, is a powerful thought. It invites us to live more fully, to cherish every connection, and to find peace in the face of life's greatest mystery. For those of us walking through the later seasons of life, this hope can be a gentle companion, a quiet reassurance that love, growth, and the soul's journey continue no matter what. Morgan Freeman's words remind us that it's okay to embrace the unknown, to be curious rather than afraid, and to carry forward with grace and courage. If this message has touched your heart, if it's given you a spark of hope or a new way to see your own journey, then you're not alone. We're here together exploring these big questions, sharing our stories, and finding meaning in the mystery. Thank you for being with us today. If you want to continue this conversation, dive deeper into life's mysteries, and find comfort and inspiration in every chapter, please subscribe to our channel. Join our community where every soul's journey matters and every question is welcomed with an open heart. Until next time, take care of yourself, cherish your moments, and remember you are never truly alone on this path.